Here we are, January 3rd, 2025. Finally acquired a few things for my 2025 KTM Hard Enduro 300 XCW. A few things I didn't like this summer that I'm changing or adding to is the clean speed brake guard, well, brake pedal, I guess, that goes back an extra like 1/4 inch to the rear, so I'm not having to fumble to find that rear brake with my foot. Set on a set of OD lock-on grips. They're nice and plush for doing enduro riding. These ones here, the stock ones, suck. They are firm, they're too hard, don't like them. And then the Tusk TBI or TPI guard, I'm going to toss on there too, just to do some more protection. And I'll probably order either heavy duty Michelin tube for the rear, or I might end up tossing in a tubeless system, or probably moose, I would assume. There's some good Chinese moose that Trevor Johnson seems to be picking up for 150 bucks Canadian. So might get one of those here when I change the tire out to a Dunlop Gummy EX81. This is the stock tire. Yeah, they're okay. They're a little firm, a little hard. You can see the chunk out right away. Like, I've only got like 6 hours on this thing, and it's already showing rounded edges and shit. A couple chunks out of it. So anyway, I'll video as I go here. Talk to you in a bit. All right, here we go. Let's see what I can wreck with one hand. The new ones have a wire on the side to protect it from getting hooked on a branch. I don't know if I love that or not, we'll see. The years that I've been riding, I've yet to do it, but I know guys that have. I end up usually pounding them in from falling. We will see how hard it is to disconnect. I loosened it off a little to get my fingers in there. Kind of a hokey little system where it's got a pinch kind of style on the wire, whether it'll slide over the tip of it. Probably not. That's the way shit is. Oh, got lucky. Okay, instead of disconnecting it off of the case, seems a little easier. Okay, let's see what we got. Try the clean speed. Here's your part number, if anyone's interested. Got it on my 2017 and my wife's 2017 KTM XCW. She loves it. I love it. It's nice because when I run racing, I can actually hit the brake with my toe and not miss it completely. That's the biggest problem. Anyway, I'm gonna pause. I'll be back once I lock tight a few things and have it started. Bye. Okay, let's see if I can do this one hand. Pre-Loctited. Let's not strip anything. Or cross thread anything. A little bit of blue Loctite on these bad boys, just to keep them from vibrating loose. They do have a tendency of backing off if you're not careful. Sorry, people. Haven't quite got a video helper yet. Not quite there. One day. A little snug. Don't want to fucking strip the suckers. There you have it. Clean speed. Pedal. It's probably back about, I'd say about a 1/2 inch. There's the original one. So you can kind of get an idea how far back it goes. Makes a huge difference, man, when you're riding. Just to catch that toe a little bit. And it's not far, it sticks out a little further, so about a half inch either way, half inch back, half inch out. Makes things way better. So there you have it. That's on to the next. Okay, so here's the TBI guard. This mine's a 2025. 2024 was TBI and 2023 was TPI. I've been told when you take these off to be careful, because if you move it, it can adjust the voltage range on it. So I've already cracked them. I'm just gonna lightly take it off without trying to maneuver the TBI in there. Just pull it off lightly, hopefully get it back on without turning it at all and affecting any of the voltage ratings. Probably should pin it and check it, but if I have to, I can always go back and pin it out with the voltage meter and see what the factory spec is, if it runs any weirder than it was stock. So I'm gonna stop recording and then just change it and show you what it looks like. Talk to you soon. So got the guard off. Actually, the TBI is already set. You don't have to worry about taking the guard off and changing the adjustment on it. As you can see, they've got two screws on there, here and here, so you can adjust it forward and back, twist it a little bit to adjust the voltage. So to put the test guard on, not a big issue. Just take the cover plate off, put the new one on, and of course the original ones, the original screws, no Loctite on them, and they were pretty lightly torqued, so I'll put a little blue Loctite on them just to prevent them from coming off. Here's the test guard on there for the TBI. I went with Tusk because it was cheaper, 35 bucks. Billet Designs was like $80 Canadian. It's the same damn thing, just one said Tusk and the other said Billet Designs, so not the exact same orange as the KTM shit. But yeah, it should do the trick. Just a little blue Loctite and lightly torque. Didn't torque, but I just lightly turned with my T-handle. Those are ones that are aluminum in there and they could easily strip, I can see for sure. Alright, let's see if we can get this handle grips off. Haven't taken this thing off yet. Let's see if I don't know if it's a love-hate relationship with these factory bark busters. We'll see. Can't adjust them. And they're plastic, so we'll see how long they last. I usually run Cycras. Some people love flags. Some people love Cycras. I'm more of a Cycra kind of guy.
Because it's Taco Tuesday at Taco Time.
You know me so well. May narrow the bars too here.
Veggie tacos are going to be specially priced.
I have to take that off completely. Just leave it in. Neat. It's loose. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch out of the bars to narrow it up a little bit. should have the room to narrow it a little bit, so. These are the lock-on grips. We've got Allen keys in there. They've got the right size. Of course not. Not a. Every size but the right size. Take a look, see what we got.
It's been happening for well over 60 years at Harold's, and it continues to happen today. Ever have a piece of pie at Harold's? You should.
You would think it would be metric. Come on.
1771.
Not metric, of course. Lock on grips.
Thursdays at the office. Coconut breaded prawns or better sauteed prawns, $8. Pints of Belgian noodle, Ringus Bay Pale Ale, $6.25. The Office Restaurant and Tavern, 2020 Falcon Road.
You torques. Fucker.
98.3 CIFM.
I think you are torques.
I'm Philly. It's time for
I'll come back. So of course it's a Torx. You know, it's a T, what did I say, 15? T15 Torx. Take off the grip. All right, that guy's off. Other one's off. All right, let's break this guy off. Gives me a little more space there. Let's see what maybe I'm doing or not, what I'm not doing. These are always a treat to take off and put back on. At the time, the new ones don't have the proper gear in them or cam. Let's move the bumper boot. This will be different than my 2017, I'd assume. It all comes apart. All right. Right side. Let's leave that there. Let's see what the new kit gives you. Cam B. Let's see if that looks like the stock one. Looks totally different. We have to change that guy. Stock cam will fit on there. Let's check. See. Perfect. Just like that, stock one fits on. I'm thinking that might make it a lot simpler. I don't have to mess around. All right. Let's see if this goes back together. Try using the stock cam. Fits on the new Odie grips, so I'm messing around then. Put that back on. Does it work? Yeah, seems to work. Feels all right. Slide everything back together. So now I'm going to mark handlebars and probably take a 1/4 inch out both sides just to narrow things up a little bit for riding in the bush. So I'm just going to mark that out and I'll get back. Okay, so I've measured out a 1/4 inch off each end. I'm going to start a little bit at a time here, I think, right across. It's about 31 and 7/8. Not even, 31 3/4 across. I'll take a 1/4 inch out of these. Just start a little bit, because if you take too much, you can't put it back on. So let's start with a little bit of a slice off each end. Let's loosen this guy off a little bit here. Get it out of the way. I need to cut it too. Fun begins. Let's start on one side. Try to cut it straight. Got some safety glasses on. I should have gloves. Let's do that too. There's nothing like getting a slice out of your hand. Let's do this side. Same thing. I'm gonna have to take that end off. I don't want to cut the guard by accident.
Every breath you take was written apparently in Jamaica
My luck.
on the estate of Ian Fleming, the creator of James Bond.
Set you up so I can see it. I might block your view, but we'll see how it goes here.
In fact, the biggest song, not just rock, the biggest song in Canada.
Out. Use my flapper disc to level it out a bit. professional. Let's bring you over this way. See what I'm doing again. Oh yeah, sure. Cable falling out for power. Usually how it is. I'm sure I'm not alone. It's a treat when you plug it in and it's still powered on. Usually damages everything. About a 1/4 inch on each side. Let's see where we're at now with our dimensions. I'm 31 7/8 or 31 3/4 because I get my 1/2 inch. Boom. I'm just a 32nd under 31 1/4. So took out my 1/2 inch. Just what I wanted. A little better in the trees. We'll see how it goes. I might take a little more down the way. We'll start with this and go from there. All right, let's get some things back on. Just gonna file the edges a little bit. So they're not so sharp. Can't wait for the snow to quit coming down. Last year we were riding in January, this year not so much. Just the people on the coast are still riding in Vancouver, lucky buggers. Get all that extra time on the bikes. But gives me a chance to grease the swing arm on this one. Just want to go through a few things, make sure everything's greased. Because from factory, they never seem to put enough grease in anything. So the next step would be to grease my rear swing arm. Check that. Check my axle. Front and rear. Get my tires done. Gives me a little bit of time on that. And I'm gonna do a top end on my 2017 this year. It's got 180 hours on it, so let's throw a new top end in it and see if it gives it a little bit more power for race season this year. I think I'll race the old one again, so I don't have to use my new one. This will be my toy for the summer to play with. See if I can cross over from carbureted to fuel injected. That looks better. All right. I'm gonna have to cut the end of the grips. I'm gonna get everything set up and cut the end of the grips so the holes are right through the tips of them, and then I'll bring her back. All right. We gotta do the grips now, drill the ends out of them. I ended up using a uni bit. One of these guys. Seems to work best. Just go to the end of it. Start drilling out the center. Seems to work the best to get it started. Do the same to the other side. Step it up, go to the next size. Got 2 uni bits. One a little bigger than the other. use this other side. Make sure I'm kind of centered. Gets most of it out. Then I use my die grinder, air die grinder. It seems to work best for cleaning it out. Instead of fighting with a file. It's a little messy, but it does the job. You know, the plastic everywhere. It makes a clean job of rounding it all out. Show you here. Cleans it out nicely. I usually leave the rubber on the end. Guys don't, because it can bind, but I don't know. I like a nice neat job.
Send it out to my lovely boyfriend.
Pretty clean. Stuff sticks to all the plastic. Got it. See, that'll slide on. Gotta loosen it off, I guess, first. Here's my Torx. When I put them on, I make sure that they just stick out a little bit past, especially on the throttle side, then it won't bind. I always like it to, so when you fall over or flop, it's going to hit the bar end first with the bark buster, then it is going to hit the grip and push the grip in. Don't mind my elbow in your way, sorry. Alright. Probably gonna have to move in the what do you call it here? The map switch. Can't see it. Just gonna bring it in a tad. Bring the map switch in a little bit. Sorry if my elbow's in the way. So I'll bring that in there. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, let's see if we get that all tidied up. Finally shut off the compressor. I've loosened off the on-off switch. Got the grip kind of in place. I'm leaving myself like just a tad on the end of the bar. So if I do flop, it doesn't push the bark buster into the throttle and jam it on. So I leave myself like an 8, probably a 30-second, maybe a little more. Started. Alright. I'm going to have to move things in a little bit more. Have all the clearances for my power on off switch, and to get my brake lever into position here. Still binding. Don't cross her. I'm gonna have to adjust the levers another day so I get on the bike and set the sag, because I like my levers down a little bit. But with these ones, one problem with these ones, instead of cyclers, when you adjust down, the bark buster ends up going down too. So the protection on your knuckles isn't quite as much. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll try them this next year here, 2025. If I start wrapping my knuckles and stuff, I might end up changing these cyclers. I just find that, well, I like when I'm standing position, I like my hands pointed down. This feels better. I feel I can grab the levers a little bit better. So let's just bring that down a bit more. I'll just snug it for now. I don't go too tight, just in case I hit something. Gives a chance the levers to actually move. Just kind of snug. Now I'll adjust my on-off switch. So I got some movement there to the end of the bar. It's getting things a little bit tight now, but there should be enough room for everything. We might be able to get a little bit more out of the bars, but they're starting to taper down. Probably take another 1/4 inch out of each end if you really wanted to. There we go. Torx T15 again on the power on off switch. It's a little getting used to this switch too, being start and off on the same right hand side. Toward my old bike had them on the opposite sides. Kind of like that a bit better, but I can always mod that down the way. That's another mod you can do to these. Not going to Loctite these. I do check them if I rate before races. I make sure all my handlebar, brake lever bolts and throttle bolts are snug. Because I've raced before and had a lever come loose during a race. That's always a treat. Throttle seems to be working. Let's check the other side. Alright, let's go to this side here. These guys have a little, if you ever look at them, you might see it, little arrow pointing up. That, to to the front of the bars. That's the way they came off, that's the way I'm putting them back. Let's just drop everything while we're at it. Yep. Oh yeah. Not getting any closer to that ground. Mind getting on this thing again. It seems a little lower for now. Just see. Yeah, pretty close for now. Until we get her on the out in the bush. I can mess with the levers one day when I'm riding. Nothing's binding. Do the ends, snug them up. Torx, T45 ends on the new bikes. Bring it in a tad. Can I do that? Of course, it'll loosen everything just to move it in a tad. Nothing simple. Why would it be? Come on. Use my hammer. Bring her back in so it's not hitting. Just a little bit. 30-second. These bark busters are nice because they actually ride right on the tip of the end of the bars, so they're not going to bind in the OD grips if they ever came out and moved in. Let's see here. I'll loosen that before I tighten the other one. God, always. Throwing's always fun. The same height. Oop. Start switch still works. Alright, now we can tighten the throttle. Just gonna snug it too. Nothing crazy. I'm not fighting with the brake. Go right there. I'm pretty picky on my levers. Alright. See where everything is. Yeah, not bad. I'll play with that a little bit. So there we have it. Got the OD plush grips on there. Both sides. Knocked a 1/4 inch off each side, so 1/2 inch total out of the bars. Tighten things up in the woods. Got my Tusk TDI guard on. Fits nice. Pretty simple. Now we'll go around the other side and I'll show you the brake lever again. Clean speed. Moved it back about 1/2 inch, out 1/2 inch. So that's it for today. we're gonna work on getting probably a moose next, and I'll throw on a new AT81 Dunlop gummy on the rear. And I'd like to get another Starcross 5 for the front. That's my favorite front tire. Those suckers are awesome, but they don't make Starcross 5 anymore. This is Starcross 6. But the compound's a lot harder now, so I'm not sure if I love it. I love the soft. So, anyway, take care, and we'll talk soon. Alright, I'm going to try pulling off my rear swing arm here, just to re-grease everything. Let's see if I can set you up here on a pedestal. Alright, I've already cracked the rear axle a little bit, so it's loose. 30 mil bolt or socket, I guess. Start with getting the rear tire off anyway. See what else we gotta crack. Have to get all this off to get into the swing arm. So. And the shock will have to be broken off. So we'll get on that. So here's why you check a new bike. You know, I went to go take off this cover plate here, and I don't know on their PDI or what. These goddamn things are finger fucking tight. And I'm not fibbing you, because I was gonna take it off with a ratchet, and they're fucking loose. Both sides, actually. I don't know if that's done in the factory or if that's done at the dealership when it comes in, but if I would have lost one of those, I would have been a little bit pissed off. Like the screws or whatever, just to find the screw that fits it later is a bit of a bitch. You can buy the kits, but they're never right one half the time. So let's cut off the tie wraps. Hard to get in there, especially with one hand. I got 6 hours on this bike, so it shouldn't be loose. Trick for these guys? Let's come out. I'm not sure. Let's check the other side. Come on, one-handed. See if I can. I'm gonna have to put you folks down. I'll get that off. All right, to continue to take the swing arm off, I took this off for your brake lever, dropped it down. I've loosened all this in the guide here. Dropping these guys off, 8 mils for your brake, rear brake reservoir. I've already loosened everything because I'm a one-handed warrior here. So that's loose, which allows this your back caliper to slide forward and come off. Set that aside. So now I'm going to take off the rear shock mount here, unbolt the rod that goes through the rear swing arm on this side, and pull her through. So here's why I take them apart, and look it in there. Not a whole lot of grease in there, and no rust, and so you get a little bit of moisture in there from riding in the bush. So I'm going to lather it up with some synthetic grease. I'm going to use, I like this stuff, Red and Tacky. It's really good. Good resistance to rust, corrosion. Good for wheel bearing and chassis. So it's Lucas. I've always liked Lucas oil and stuff. Let's grease and lube that up and chuck the rest. So here we are. Put a whack load of grease in there. In the swing arms, a little on the bushings, both sides. Put her back together and assemble it, and hopefully that'll keep things from rusting and becoming an issue here in the next season. So, getting her back together. Grease the shaft going through. You can see there's a shit ton of grease on it. Probably don't need that much, but I'll clean it off a little. I grease the shaft on this shock mount. Loctite it in again. Give it a bit of Loctite. Make sure it's got some grease going in on this side. Give myself a little extra in there. Now I'll tighten everything to torque and put her back. So we got her back together. Tie wrapped everything again. Torqued 80 Newton meters on the spring perch. I moved it. I'm greasing in the axles and the caps. Just throw a ton in there to keep the water out. And I torqued the bolt one through, which is on the other side of this, to I think it was 104 Newton meters. Tighten these up, Loctited. Grease the axle so it doesn't rust. Grease this guy, put it back in. So we should be good once we're all back together. Do the front axle another day. So there we are. Got her all back together. Got the handle grips on, the OD grips, lock on. I got on the clean speed brake lever that's moved back. Lubed the swing arm, re-greased the axle, re-greased the swing arm, re-greased the shock mount, front axle, and I also got the Tusk guard on. That's on for now. So that should be it for now. Well, we'll see how it goes, and if I got some more stuff to do here, like tubes and or new tires for the rear and a nitro mousse, and that shall be it for a while till riding season begins. Maybe a pipe. I might get a pipe so I can have a spark arrestor in it too, so probably get an FMF. Alrighty, that's it for today. Take care, bye.